Welcome to another episode. And today we are talking about the state of the union with the executive job market and really the job market in general. It's been a complete turn this year, and I wanted to bring to the table Ryan Meinberg, managing partner at Career Evolved. We personally speak to hundreds of high achieving professionals, executives every week. And so we're in it. Not only are we seeing the people that are really struggling to pivot, to get traction, but we're also seeing the folks in our community that are still able to get offers, change industries, still land 200K, 250 plus opportunities. And it's not like it used to be, right? And so I wanted to just say, you know, things used to be a lot easier like 3, 5 years ago. Ryan, what do you think the biggest shifts are in this current condition? Like, what has changed?
Well, I think 2 to 3 years ago, the market and the economy used to be so predictable. You can almost anticipate Q2, Q3, Q4 based on what Q1 looked like. And it just seems that path forward was always so linear. And right now, you can have an outstanding Q3 and not know what the heck happened in Q4, or the same thing from Q2 to Q3. And when things are unpredictable and they're unstable, we feel out of control. And what I've noticed is that when we feel out of control, we go back to what we're comfortable with of just old school tactics because those things that we've done in the past have made us successful. And so we rely on what's always worked. And while they can still work and things along those lines, the market and timing and the economy, everything that's uncontrollable is always going to cause us to reflect. And then when we reflect, we adapt. And the key to success is to always evolve based on what you see coming, even though you can't control it. And right now, 2025 has been extremely unpredictable. What we expected and what happened on the market did not take place whatsoever. So now it causes a little bit of a reaction instead of being with an intentional response. And what I'm seeing is the fact that this year is very different than 2, 3 years ago, simply because of the instability. And oftentimes when you create stability, it reveals certain characteristics in leaders to see what is important to them and if they're ready to fight and they're ready to take control, or if they're ready to surrender to what that is they can't control. And oftentimes it reveals a lot about someone's character and someone's intention, but most importantly, who they are as a leader.
That is so huge, and I know that I've been talking about this for a about a couple years now, the white collar recession, and I think I started talking about it a little too soon before people were ready to really acknowledge it, but a couple years ago, there was a wave of layoffs, 500,000 layoffs from big companies like Google, Meta, Amazon. So what that's done is it's given a flood of highly skilled, highly tech savvy executive talent in the market. And so what that has created is a massive influx of these executives and high skilled talent using AI for their job search. And AI is used to apply to hundreds of jobs at the click of a mouse. AI is used to optimize resume. AI is used to spam people's inbox on LinkedIn. And so, what I'm seeing from these tech executives and tech minded people is they think if I just do more and I automate, that'll handle the problem for me. And it's actually making the situation worse because I've tested these tools. That makes it's very obvious when things are done by AI. It's very transactional and it's very much, it can actually be detrimental to your brand. I know we've experienced it personally trying to test AI with customers, how what a big turnoff it is when people know it's automation. And so AI has completely killed the emotional intelligence in the job search, and it's creating even more chaos with the process, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I was talking to a client and just an awesome leader. And one thing that we were discussing is the fact that companies use AI because it's a tool to that allows companies, I guess, to do anything they can to avoid human interactions. So it's like if anything you can do to distance yourself from people, companies will do because in their mind it saves them time. And AI works so and intrinsically is the fact that I can take, for example, hypothetically, someone's resume and put it into an AI software and ask AI if AI wrote it. And it's very simple. And AI will tell you if another robot drafted and did this resume or LinkedIn profile simply because it can run the algorithms in the same way. And when people or companies do anything they can to avoid human interaction, it takes away the necessary skills that are necessary at the executive level simply because they're not exercised anymore. It's like a muscle. And if AI is used to separate you from people, then having to go out and remarket yourself, have the right conversations, put yourself in front of people and get outside your comfort zone, you don't want to do it because that muscle has been dead for the last year or 2 years or 3 years. And it's difficult to try to get back into shape on the core fundamentals that will always be successful rather than just being able to pay someone else or be able to have a software try to create a artificial image of yourself that you'll never ever be able to match up to when you actually get to a decision maker. Because ultimately, AI does not do the executive job. Person does. So there has to be that breakdown in which AI is only a tool, but it's not the solution. It has to be controlled. And right now, AI is used as a platform that's uncontrolled because everybody's using it as a crutch versus as an opportunity.
And I'm gonna be real with you, I speak to so many brilliant executives, people from Amazon, Nike, and they're just like, "Olivia, there's so many people out there now that are popping up giving all this career advice, like, I don't even know who to trust because everybody's just promising me that they can solve my problem, but it's not that easy. It's not a quick fix. It's not a resume. It's not a recruiter. What do I gotta do?" And I'm like, "Listen, leaders know, real leaders know that the cost of success has gone up." And so we are actually now from the white collar recession to the AI is now creating a trust recession. And what that means is people are very cynical. They're very guarded with the dollar. They're clinging to the dollar hard, and they wanna know you are the real deal, and they want proof. So we're seeing rounds of interviews, panels of interviews, and weeks go by only to put a position on hold, right? And so how does Career Evolved actually still solve these problems and get our clients results? And we've got so much momentum in this community, and here's how, guys. It's going back to the real core foundation. Relationships matter more than ever before, and AI cannot build a relationship for you. AI cannot influence an executive. AI cannot actually build trust and close the deal. And so that's where this comes into more of a behavioral psychological skill of truly cutting through the noise and being able to create and position value before the job board is even happening. And because we have the relationships and we have a community that will take the call, we have the ability to leverage and create advocacy and promoters leveraging our executive network. And the only reason they'll take the call is because we make real impact. We're not over here nickel and diming people counting calls. We're actually delivering life-changing transformation, and we can't just do a quick fix AI resume. I mean, quite frankly, this is a transformation. So people are having to rebrand, they're having to enter new markets, and they're having to actually reinvent themselves, and they're having to change their mindset on how they've thought about their career, and that is not a quick fix, guys, but if you're really ready to evolve, you can turn this setback into a breakthrough and you can get more alignment with your career because sometimes disruption does force you to get on the right path.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one thing that we're talking a lot with current clients and then also prospective clients is if you had to be honest with yourself, are you more valuable than AI? And if that answer is no, then you're not doing something right. You have to believe that you're more powerful than the technology itself. Because if the case is that you're looking for the next opportunity and so forth, and you're wondering how you're going to get past AI or what AI is going to do, as it continues to grow, people are going to leverage it more. So, in order to get past it, you have to do more in regards to connection, in regards to people, in regards to offering value, because a company has to see why they need you more than they need a software, more than they need a robot. And the only way to do that is by you understanding what exactly that you know how to do and getting in touch with your core values because the only thing someone can't duplicate is you. And at Career Evolved, I think the most important thing is that piece. It's the brand evolved. Because if you don't evolve to what's coming, then by default, you're always swept in by what's lost in the past. And the past does not dictate future results. It never has and it never will. The purpose of evolving is to be able to understand that no matter what comes at you, you as a leader are always positioned and poised to be able to adapt as to why you're the right fit for an organization. You have to be more powerful than the tools and the obstacles that come against you. And Career Evolved teaches you that foundation. Because once that foundation is set, then we as leaders take off because people are attracted to high value leaders. It's instinctive. People will see high value and say, I want that. I need that. And when you see someone who's the real deal, it's rare. It's more rare now than ever before, simply because people don't connect with others the way that they used to. So, as a former hiring manager, as current hiring manager, and a high level leader, I know when I see the real deal, it's something that I grasp for. I want to talk again and again because even if I don't know the exact position, I know I need that person. And Olivia, I think of the last three most recent offers last week. All three offers for just from our clients were created.
Yep.
They were taken from the position and then the position evolved simply because what they went for on the direct to marketing strategy that they used was for one thing, but the company loved them so much, they didn't realize they had multiple problems that that leader could fix. And the reason why those clients were successful is because they knew they were the solution, not a tool.
I
And that's always going to be the differentiator.
And this is what I've learned, guys, like, I've been in this game a decade, I've seen COVID, recessions, boom market, I've seen it all, and so I don't get rattled during these chaotic, disruptive times because what I know and the core principles come through, the real deal leaders know that disruption creates opportunity. There's a reason why the most millionaires are created during recession markets, is because when there's all this disruption, there's kind of a change of the guards that's happening, right? There's a lot of pain, there's a lot of chaos, and they're looking for leadership to come in and bring order to the chaos. They're looking for leaders to provide clarity and peace to their organization, and that is priceless. So when you stop thinking about this in the same old box, and we walk the talk here. Every day we're getting 1% better, and we've set that intention with every single person in this team. Every week we are meeting and we're evolving our program, our process, and every freaking week Ryan and I are doing outreach with top leaders and having our pulse on the market. I personally have been in the C-suite network, in rooms with CEOs, advising them on what I'm seeing, and I'm in really staying connected to these businesses because I think it's so important to always be in tune with the market, and the market is always evolving and you must evolve with it. And so, with my organizational psychology background, it's been really helpful to stand out from all the noise out there with the career advice, and it's always stands true. At the end of the day, it comes down to identity. And nobody talks about this, but Ryan and I have been doing this so long and we have the relationships, we can get people in front of people pretty easily, but then how they show up, demonstrate value, their energy, their intention, their ability to be relevant, that's a skill. And being able to be attuned and evolve and really, like, agile and versatile, that's also an identity. So if you're not evolving, you're dying. And this is a lifestyle, the transformation, the mindset of a leader knows that they've gotta be around other leaders that are running at a faster pace than them, and you've gotta be around people that are in the know, and if I had to get to where I am without investing hundreds of thousands of dollars in the top tier leaders coaching, getting in the right rooms, there's no way I would be here right now. But in these types of markets, people are in fear. They're like, they got to cling to the dollar. I can't invest. I can't do it. I can't do it. Those are the people that are in fear. The real leaders rise and they do more and they take up market share. So it's just like you got to choose between faith and fear. You either believe in yourself and you believe you're more worthy and you will win, and winners win in any market. But right now, the cost of winning has gone up, and you do need to do more, and sometimes that's not what people wanna hear. When I talk to executives, there's a lot of entitlement out there. But the real deal leaders know that they've got to do more to win, and they know that leaders do more, not less.
Going back to the identity piece, I gotta leverage my favorite and my all-time favorite athlete, which is Kobe Bryant, of course, been a diehard Laker fan forever. And, he did this talk at USC. It's a fantastic talk. It's on YouTube. It's about an hour long. And one thing that he talks about is the identity of excellence because he's the all-time NBA record holder for most clutch shot made. And he was having a discussion about his insane work ethic. Just the fact that he said, I'm up at 3 a.m. because if I'm practicing at 3 and you don't get to the gym till 6, I've had 1,000 more shots before you even got there. And he's talking about how his mentality breeds practice, practice breeds execution, execution breeds winning, winning breeds championships. But how it all starts with that 3 a.m. practice. But what he says is the fact that I don't practice excellent. I am excellent. Practice is a reflection of my excellence. The reason why I have to position that way is what he says is because I'm not practicing 24/7. I have to rest. I have to recover. But excellence has no time off. Excellence is all day, every day, no matter what, because it's who I am. Practice is a reflection of that excellence, which is why at times I have to relax. But even when I'm resting, I'm still excellent. And in turn, that identity determines how I practice. How I practice determines how I play, and how I play determines how I win. And that mindset is the reflection of what a leader is. And Kobe would always say, hey, you don't show up, then you're not getting the ball from me at the end of the game. Because my trust in you is determined by how you showed up when no one else watched. If that's not leadership, and that's not the executive mindset of what it takes to win in this market, then I don't know how to be any other clearer because that's exactly what it takes to be a winner right now in 2025.
And guys, like, it's never been easier to win because most people right now aren't even showing up consistently. And that's because of the state of the mindset of the market. When there's a lot of chaos, people lose hope, they lose their drive, they lose their fire, right? So one thing about us and Career Evolved, like, it's that Mamba mentality. It's like you can ignite this fierce desire to win, and that will to win is who we look for. Because when I'm talking to people and I don't wanna work with everyone, I'm gonna be honest. I can't help everybody, and we wanna work with the leaders that are committed to being in the top 10%, and that's a certain profile because that energy is contagious, and we are so protective of our community because we know it's a gold mine in here, and so when I think about who I want, I'm always trying to convince them that they're not ready and see if they are gonna rise to that challenge. So I'll ask, are you willing to have 100 15-minute phone calls to get 8 interviews and 3 offers? And if they shrink and they're like, "Well, of course," then I know they're ready. Now, does it take that many? No, it takes 1 call. But I wanna know if you're prepared for the journey, and let's put it this way, most people have done hundreds of applications, which take hours of time, and they're powerless, and it's just a click of the mouse. It's a one-click apply, it doesn't even really count. So when you're actually taking the time to set a meeting and have a quick call and represent your van and brand and build a relationship and really add value to the market, that's a real connection. That's real intention versus I just want a job. I just want a job. I just need to get a job. I want this to be over. That's not the leader I want to work with. It's a mindset and it's an intention and it's a pride. And leaders want they don't just want a job. They want purpose, they want impact, they want alignment, and they will not settle.
No, absolutely. It's the fact that you can't save anybody and you can't help someone who does not want to be helped. Mindset transformation and understanding behavioral change always comes from the individual who's willing and wanting to grow and evolve. And that's been true since the beginning of time, and it's not going to change anytime soon. You can't control people. But what we can do is the facts that knowing that whatever client comes in or any person we work with or are privileged to engage with, whatever effort is brought in, it's always matched twofold. That's the biggest blessing someone gets that I have learned, especially working with Career Evolved. If you come in asking for 100%, you're going to get 200% from us simply because our goal here is focused on the outcome of the individual simply because these are livelihoods that we're talking about. Career is part of our identity as an executive leader. You don't get to the top without it being something so important to you. So, what you're investing in is a change of who you are. And we are committed to making sure we help you get that change because it's transparent in every part of your life. So if someone comes in here, our only ask is 100% because I promise you, you'll get 200% from us.
I love that. And guys, like if this is resonating with you, I invite you to book a call with myself or Ryan. And we'll have a 1-hour call. We'll go through your background, your goals, your challenges, and if we can help, and I'm 100% confident we can, we'll tell you how. If not, you'll leave with value and clarity. I've seen it all. We've seen it all. There's zero judgment, but we will get to the truth. And so all you got to do is go to www.careerevolve.com/schedule. That's www.careerevolve.com/schedule. And here's the difference here. I've been doing this a decade. I really one thing I know is that you don't stay in any business for a decade without knowing the value of relationships and integrity and purpose and your impact on this world. And one thing that we are fully committed to is we don't leave anyone out in the cold without a job. But that means we can't invite everyone in. So we're looking for people that are really ready to do the work and to show up at their desk Monday through Friday. Give us at least a couple hours a day because this is not going to happen with a quick fix. We are not going to promise you a band-aid solution, resume, LinkedIn profile. We're going to tell you the real deal truth of what we're seeing those who are getting 200 plus offers actually do right now. And, if you're really committed to 150 plus and being in the top 10% of the United States, you're going to need to evolve. So if that sounds like you, I would be an honor to talk to you. And I promise you it'll be the best hour that you've spent on your career this entire year. So I look forward to the opportunity to serve you. And thank you, Ryan, for all the insight.